Good morning, Warriors. Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2, the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm up in my attic working on my HO train set and figured I'd do one. I know that I was going to get to one with Frenz asked me about uh, semen retention and prostate cancer, those type of things. So we're going to talk about that in a second. I saw a good video by Artistic Motivation and a few other ones on this topic. So I'm going to kind of talk about this a little bit as I took some notes on some of these stuff and did some research on this as it was going along. First, go ahead and subscribe, comment, and like. Hope you guys are getting the best out of this. Please donate if you have the opportunity. All of this going to a good cause, trying to kind of make better and better videos as I can. I'm still working on getting my computer and trying to get a better type of computer so I don't have to do this on the phone a lot. So, but I'm happy to give you information as I get along and do this. Okay, so the idea that let's kind of talk about this in reference to history a little bit. So we all have energy, and energy is something that we don't want to lose. And so as a person, especially as a male, we're really programmed to procreate. And so as we go through types of things, our energy builds and builds and builds, and then until we find an opportunity to expand it and do it. And with our prostate and those type of things within us, our whole body system is kind of geared to that. And so that's kind of what we're built on. And so it's important to kind of exercise that, realize that as you do this. The key is the internal force you have, you want to keep it alive, okay? You want to keep it going, and you want to kind of keep your energy. This is why we talk about semen retention. You want to keep an energy. But there's also been that the myth and the idea that the danger of all of this is you're going to get prostate cancer and not be healthy, okay? And there's always a possibility of getting any kind of disease that we have. But like I said, I have not been sick for over 10 years and doing a lot of these exercises. And I think there's reasons why we're going to talk about this and why you shouldn't really worry about this if you're doing all the right types of things. So the idea behind this, and this goes back to Vendetta philosophy, is that your semen is your vital life force, okay? And through yoga, we've learned that your energy moves through small channels within your system. I talk about it, chakra and those type of things. The idea is that you want to keep this force alive and well, and if you lose it, like in semen, you lose in porn and FAP and all that kind of stuff, then you end up losing and you can't grow. And so you want to keep your body in the best possible way you can. Now, the idea here is that it's almost like keeping your energy locked up. You can get to the point, as we talked about before, if you do not use your energy in a productive way. If obviously you just lose it all the time, and you go ahead and just masturbate all the time, well, then you're going to go ahead and lose that energy, and that's not going to help you grow. But even if you go ahead and build it up and not release it, well, you're still losing some energy. It may be a small amount of energy, but you're losing a little energy in the process, because what you're doing is moving your body, the energy up and down your body. You want to keep it up through your body and not down your reproductive system where the chakra is. But the idea that the issue is really here is what happens is that people who do not transmute it and do it some other type of exercise to get around it ends up getting really very frustrated and upset. And it's very simple to go ahead and it builds up inside of you and you get to the point where you get very frustrated. And this can cause problems if you're not really having to do it. So if you don't have sex, if you don't go ahead and release your energy, you can, in the extreme case, hurt your prostate all the time. You could do that in the long run. You got to flush some of this out sometimes. Well, but the idea is that you want to make sure that you're doing something like yoga, or you're doing something like exercising, lifting weights, walking, eating the right foods, doing the right types of things to keep that balance. Because that's going to be the long term. It's really kind of like your blood. You want to keep your blood flowing, and through the prostate and all that type of stuff that's inside your system, you want to make sure it's really strong and that it continues to flow well. So drinking a lot of water, and then you can see it's up here, it's a little hot, so I'm getting a little sweating here. But the water makes you kind of get that blood through the system, and it becomes stronger that way. And so it flows better. The whole key is flowing. And your prostate and those type of things, from my understanding, will not be affected in a negative way as long as you continue doing those things. And this is why we talk about not just doing semen retention, but doing all these other things along with that to make yourself strong and to make yourself the best person you can be. So as we talk about this, you want to make sure you're keeping your body in the best way possible. And like I said, there's a lot of good things that you want to do and look at this, but you want to kind of look at some of my notes here. But if you don't do these type of things and you sit around and just watch TV, or you're doing videos or playing video games, things like that, that's a possibility you're going to also eat the bad foods. Now, for example, eating foods, the wrong type of foods, can get you a lot of those urges. And obviously, even though you're doing semen retention, but you're eating a lot of sugary foods and you're eating a lot of fat foods and carbohydrates, then you might still have some of these problems, right? But it's got to be a complete type of thing. You're really talking about using semen retention, but then also using exercise. I do some weightlifting as well. Get away from the junk food, right? Exercise, diet, meditate if you can. All these type of stuff is really key in trying to keep that force alive and well within you. And so as you look at this, you're going to have times where it's going to build up. This is why when I looked at this fountain of youth, and I didn't really understand the sixth rite of this, and talking about this is really kind of focusing on being superhuman. That means you're able to not only control the types of urges you have, but you're able to combine that with the right type of foods, so you're not having the major urges because of the sugar and because of all the carbohydrates and things you get. It's very fascinating. You do tend to get, from my experiences at least, do tend to get a lot more urges when you're eating a lot of junk food. So stay away from those type of things and get yourself to more of a positive type of diet, and then get yourself into the way of looking at this as more of a blood flow. Get a lot of water in your system, get a lot of liquids in your system, don't get too dehydrated, and get to the point where you're able to go ahead and build that energy and keep that energy in you. So, and you need that because we get some hot days here. Like I've some of my hot egg, I don't have air conditioning up here, so it's hot up here. But I need that to be able to kind of keep dehydrated, things like that. So again, it was a great question, my friends, and it's a shout out to you, my friend. I want to get back to you on this. But the idea is that when you're looking at worrying about being prostate, and this is something I worried about for years, right? I worried about this because that's the myth out there, that if you hold it in and you don't let it out and you're not masturbating all the time, well, all of a sudden you're not going to be a very healthy person. Well, I haven't been sick in a long time. And over the last 786 days, I think it is now, I have not been sick at all. And so the idea is that when you're looking at this, I believe that the idea is as long as you live a healthy lifestyle, you don't have to worry about prostate cancer or anything like that. What you really have to do is make sure, however, that you're combining a lot of these things together and that you're really trying the best you can to transmute this energy. Find things to do, purposes, whether it's exercising, hobbies, things like that. Do things to keep your mind off of those urges, because you're going to get those urges, especially if you eat the wrong kind of food. So that must be another thing to kind of get rid of. Cold showers, all these things help you build your testosterone, but you have to kind of learn how to manage that. So yes, you need to flush things out, and that's your normal body system. And that's why when people have wet dreams, I don't believe it's really a relapse. From what I've been reading for a lot of different sources, it looks like it's more of just an overabundance that's being let out. So I would not worry if you're a young person having wet dreams, because you're letting out energy that needs to be let out just so the system can function through. But you're going to build semen every day, and you're going to continue building that, so you know at some point it's over. Now, I have a lot of years to make up for, so I'm not at the point where I'm in the abundance like you guys have. I mean, I'm strong for my age, 61, but not where some of you guys are at 20, 25 years old, 30 years old. So you guys will have a lot more of this issue than I will necessarily at this point, because I'm still building a lot of my semen that I lost all those years. So, but you guys have a concern because you have to make sure that you're using that energy in a way where you're transmuting it, and it's going upwards and things like that. So, all right, my friends. Well, friends, once again, thank you. And friends, I appreciate your comments on this and the question about this. I finally got to this one. I wanted to do this over the weekend, but I wanted to kind of let you guys know, don't worry about the prostate cancer situation, things like that. In my mind, I believe it's all good. I believe as long as you have the right style and the right lifestyle, and you're using it in the right way, you can achieve it. You can still achieve a lot of great benefits and not worry about those type of things. But that was worrying me for many years, and I wanted to kind of share that with you because I saw a good video by Artistic Motivation, and I would highly recommend Artistic Motivation. It's got some great videos. Look at that, and then also kind of talk about the idea that you have to just continue to build a good lifestyle. All right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk soon. I'm going on vacation with my family this week, but I'll try to do some for my other locations, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, and battle on.